All right. Okay. Jesus. It is so bright in here. I can't believe we're doing the Emmys in the daytime. That's insane. I'm not even fully awake. Oh my God. My head hurts. It hurts so much. Why are we here? Just give me the award. Give me the award. Okay. Oof. The daytime Emmy is like 5 times lighter than a regular Emmy. Does this even count as a real award? Never mind. Okay. Uh, the award for best soap opera, I guess. I don't know. Goes to General Hospital. Is that show still on? Yeah, just whatever. Take it. Jesus. Oh, I'm going back to bed.
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the daytime news that you didn't Emmy about. Yeah, I messed it up. If you saw that cold open, it was basically the gist of it was the Emmys, but during the day. That's literally everything I wrote. And this is what we're doing. The daytime Emmys. They happened a couple of weeks ago, but I did prepare this episode about a week before it happened. So this is my fault for being so lazy. The daytime Emmys, if you don't know, are the daytime version of the Emmys, the regular primetime Emmys. The daytime Emmys are basically for shows that air between 2 a.m. and 6 p.m. And yeah, shows do air in that 2 a.m. time slot. I don't know if any of those shows have ever won anything, but holy moly, that's a very big, wide berth of Emmy eligible shows. Obviously, in 2020, they had to hold off on having them because of the coronavirus pandemic, and they had some changes to realign with the regular Emmys that happened in 2021, but we'll get to that in a second. So the rules are basically, like I said, 2 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they have to air in at least 50% of the country. So that means syndication. That means that they have to air. If you want like a show, like if a show's being tested in markets on the West Coast, but on the East Coast, then it's got to at least be a lot of California, Nevada, all that stuff. So it's really cool. I think the daytime Emmys are an interesting thing. Web television shows can be eligible. They have to be available for downloading or streaming to more than 50% of the country. There's a lot of wiggle room to get into the daytime category. And quite frankly, it's taken up by a lot of soap operas and cartoons, whereas the primetime Emmys are basically sitcoms and dramas and late night shows. Entries must be submitted by late December, yada, yada, yada. There's the DVDs that go out, streamers, all that stuff. Voting's done by peer judging panels. And any active Academy winner can judge as well. So there you go. The changes are thusly so. This comes from Variety's Michael Schneider. Excuse me. Daytime Emmys were split off into children's and family shows, which are now getting their own Emmy ceremony. So much like there's the creative arts Emmys, the technical Emmys, like the Oscars, they have like technical Oscars and the creative Oscars and all that stuff. We're getting two separate types of Emmys, two separate types of daytime Emmys. Excuse me. So those were removed from the daytime Emmys, where Kids Fair was previously honored as recognition to those programs had transcended past day. So basically, that means shows like Craig of the Creek and Teen Titans Go, all the Cartoon Network stuff, they usually air at 6 p.m. Sometimes they have movies that air, from 7 to 9, So maybe sometimes that the Disney kids shows can really go beyond. Sometimes they air Friday night at 8 p.m. Who knows, like Disney does. Anyway, it was a really interesting switch. Also, the daytime and primetime competitions realigned so that they could come together and really have a focus on just making a singular Emmys awards. Now, even if they're held separately, the daytime and the primetime Emmys, they still want to be known as the Emmys because that's how they still count. So here's what changed. All categories for scripted comedies and dramas, excluding the serial shows like the General Hospital and some other show I've never seen, but that I'm sure my grandmothers watch. Programming targeted viewers 15 and younger, which are now going to go to the new Children's and Family Emmy Awards, which is going to air sometime this year, will fall under the ATAS and Primetime Emmys Awards moving forward, regardless of scheduling. So that means that, again, like a show that airs sometimes at 7 o'clock on Disney Channel on Friday nights could be eligible even though it's outside of that regular time frame. Talk shows are divided between daytime and primetime Emmy Awards because, quite frankly, late night shows are taking over and even though late night shows are in primetime, they're, how do I put this? The winners are predictable every single year, and the eligibility is getting less and less, except for this year where they were going to get less. They were going to get like, I think 2 less slots, but then the showrunners and the writers and stuff, they fought for keeping those 2 because it'd be unfair. So talk shows are divided between daytime and primetime Emmys based on the format and style of their shows. Awards for morning shows will be moved to the News and Documentary Emmy Awards. So that doesn't mean that they lose their spots. It means that they're just literally taking those morning shows, Today's Show and Live with Kelly and Ryan and Good Morning and CBS. They're going to move those over to the News and Documentary Emmy Awards, which still count as Emmys, apparently. Categories for game shows and instructional DIY programming will remain split between daytime and primetime Emmy Awards for this coming season, but for the next season, they might switch on over. So that's why things had switched. There's no plan for a merge, and the ceremonies are still going to be separate, and they're going to have their own names, but they're still under the Emmys footprint. Okay, so let's get to some of the biggest winners and losers. Young and the Restless led the nominees with 18, followed by General Hospital with 17, Days of Our Lives with 11, and Kelly Clarkson's show was the best winner. Out of all of its nominations, it picked up 5. That's great. Let's see. So a lot of soap operas obviously won in their categories because they're the best of what they do, such as General Hospital had the best and the most winners. Informative talk shows included the Robin Roberts Show on Disney Plus, which I guess counted, and Red Table Talk is apparently nominated on Facebook Watch. That's interesting. Drew Barrymore was nominated for Entertainment Talk Show alongside winner Kelly Clarkson's show, Live with Ryan, Today's Show, Kelly and Ryan, Today's Show with Hoda and Jenna, and Hot Ones, which is a show I don't watch anymore and I think should not be nominated or anything. And then, of course, there's the Entertainment News series, which News Time would be nominated in if I had my way, which were winner Entertainment Tonight, Extra, Inside Edition, and Access Hollywood. Game show host Steve Harvey won. He beat out everybody else, including Pat Sajak, who was nominated twice. Interesting. Tamron Hall won for the best talk show host among a very diverse group. This is the most diverse group of people I've ever seen in a big time award ceremony. Gloria Estefan, Emily Estefan, Lily Estefan, Whoopi Goldberg for Red Table Talk, the Estefans. Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Houston, all those ladies for The View, Tamron Hall, Taraji P. Henson, Tracy Jade with Peace of Mind with Taraji on Facebook Watch, and Robin Roberts on the Disney Plus show. It's a smaller award show. There's not a lot. There's everything. Like, I mean, you can go to Vegas and gamble on who wins, and you would definitely come away in the plus side of that. But that's the Daytime Emmy Awards. That's what they did this year. They're going to, again, to reiterate, they're going to become their own thing while also remaining a part of the Emmy footprint. Listen, if you like footprints and you want to see some feet, head on over by subscribing and checking out. Subscribing and check out one of our other videos, of course. You can head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where there's so many feet pics. So many, I swear to God. And you can see some other stuff, as well as interviews with favorite comedians. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chad Black White. Like us on Facebook. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And I guess we're going to look at some feet pics. Ooh, whoopee.